Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special day because today is Wednesday of BotCon 2014. I'm so excited I can barely contain myself. Okay, so here's what this video is. I'm going to share with you my first reactions and unboxing of this year's BotCon box set. But first, let's have a look at what's happened today so far. I was in the Wednesday customizing class where we made this guy. And this guy is Primal Prime. He doesn't look exactly like this, or isn't supposed to look exactly like this, but I don't care, I made mine the way I like it. This guy is supposed to be an homage to an old toy from 3H Comics, I suppose, and that was back when FunPub didn't have the licensing for BotCon yet. But this is a fun little guy. I've never had this mold before. But you know what, it's fun. The joints on this are really tough, and I think it's got something to do with the tolerance of the white plastic, because we had some particular trouble trying to get the elbows into the forearms. Those were pretty tricky. But otherwise, I painted mine up to closely resemble Optimus Prime as much as I could. The base plan had more red on it. As you can see here, I have the book for it, where we had all of our instructions. And in here, it's got some pretty good tips on how to customize figures. And then assembling the figure, it gives you good step-by-step detailed instructions for what parts are supposed to go where and what screws to put in there. It's a fun time. This was my second time doing a customizing class, and let me tell you, it's totally worth it every single time. But yeah, real fun doing this figure. He also came with some exclusive stickers, so for everyone who didn't take the class and just ordered a pre-put together set, won't be getting these stickers, but his surfboard comes with some Wreckers factions and some boosters here and Wreckers faction symbol, and a lot of other cool little things that kind of harken back to G1 Prime's trailer. See, like you have the Go arrow right there. Just love that, and some little tech details in there. Oh, and then on the other side, you've got Devcon and what looks to be Tap Out. Loads of fun. It was totally an oddball for me because I thought the way that the customizing figure worked for the year was that we were supposed to get something that had to do with a mold from the box set. So I was expecting something from Scourge or Cyclonus or maybe the Prime Ratchet mold, but no, and threw me for a loop. So I guess my understanding of how the molds are picked for the customizing class is totally new. But there's kind of a second theme going on for this year's BotCon. Since it's kind of an anniversary year, this BotCon is going for kind of a reminiscence of BotCon's past through the history of old BotCons and BotCon figures. So you've got this Primal Prime, and then you've got a Shocker Act that is rumored to be coming out, and maybe even new Thundertron in the colors of Alpha Trion. And that might be interesting. I don't know if I totally buy it, but we'll see. So then I went to Captured Prey and I bought this guy, Unique Toys Sound Mixer Blaster. Loads of fun. I love this toy, but I won't get into a full review of him. Also, they were kind enough to throw in a nice little baggie of guns, and these are for the Uranus set. They're individual guns for all the individual robots, and then they assemble into a full gun for the combined figure. Nice, they didn't have to do that. It was nice and free. Good on them. They're good people. If you're at BotCon and you've got the chance, go see them in room 225 in the Sheraton Hotel. And a couple doors down in 227, there's another room where I bought Universe Smokescreen. And he's gonna go with Devcon in my display. So yeah, go check out Parts Parties if you can. Ask around about these little places. They're basically people who want to sell toys. They have rooms to themselves, and you can go up to their rooms and they'll sell you third-party stuff that otherwise wouldn't be allowed on the floor, and then they don't have to pay for the spaces. But anyways, let's get on to the big stuff. The super awesome stuff that's coming. Ready for this? Kaboom! This is the box set for BotCon 2014. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, on my way driving home, I live about less than an hour away from Pasadena, and on the way home this has been sitting in my passenger seat, and I've been like on a hot day like, ooh, you just wait till I get home. And anyways, so here we have a couple of things that they give you, and the free attendee figure, which is the Flame War toy that's kind of been leaked and floating around. Ooh, nice artwork there. Yeah. So let's have a look at this. It's 2 bags, okay. It's a bag and a bag. Ooh. Okay, I'll admit, I don't really like Flame War because I have no reason to care about her, really. But yeah, wow, look at that. Flame decals here and orange webbing. Wow, that looks really striking. So this is what she looks like without the thing on her. I like this. I like this a lot better without the gun on it. It reminds me a lot of like a bat bike, but like an evil bat bike. I'm a bad bat bike. Oh yeah. So now let's get this thing changed up. And here we have Flame War. And wow. I actually kind of like this. A good balance of warm and cool colors with this hot orange and red, and then the cooling purple and the black to go all over everything. Yeah, she's got a flame bikini. I hear that's hot in some parts of the world, namely America. Anyways, so yeah, really fascinating paint job. Now I'm interested. Now I'm interested in finding out who this character is. Lots of good detail work around the face, and I love the way that these kind of form these spikes behind her. I wish nobody would walk behind her, or else she'd impale somebody pretty hard in the nuts. So here she comes with her crossbow thing. Her arms seem a bit loose on trying to hold it. Unless you hold it with both hands, and then everything works out fine. But yep, she can shoot those, and then you can lose them. Because they're kind of trigger happy. Flew off on me a couple times. So here she is with the RID RC mold. I think these two would probably look good on a shelf together, just for the sake of having good and bad fembots. But yeah, interesting idea. I'm not as opposed to it as I thought I would be. So there's a plus. Moving on. Light piping to the max. We got the club folder here, and you get a kind of a peek at that awesome artwork. And in here we have, of course, the comic. Ooh, okay, so that confirms a few things. Definitely the Flame War, definitely that Alpha Trion, Thundertron, Alphatron, whatever you want to call it. I call it not properly Alpha Trion. I don't really care for my Alpha Trion being a lion. But that's because I like Thundertron, and Thundertron should kind of be his own respective thing. By the way, the titles up here and on the box are starting to adopt that new movie style of the red on white simplistic Transformers logos. I'm digging it, I'm digging it. Let's see how it goes. Also up here you've got apparently Ape Link and Shockeract, who are an homage to when 3H Productions had the licensing for BotCon. And they had a couple of exclusive toys. Not sure how I feel about that, honestly. I mean, it's a BotCon homage of another BotCon toy. Kind of self-redundant, if you will. But anyways, let's take a look at what's inside. Ooh, good stuff. Ah, this page was in one of the club comics. It's kind of a preview, I guess. So this looks interesting. Scorponok, awesome. Ginrai, awesome. Probably Ape Link there, and I don't know who that is, but I guess we'll find out. And Rampage and Shockeract. No, that's Shockeract. Okay. Never mind. I got excited. Special guests, all that good stuff. I'm gonna read that later. Then we got a souvenir voucher, survey and evaluation form, and a certificate of authenticity. Yeah, delicious. And then all of that just fits neatly in this nice purple folder. So now, finally, at last, why don't we take a look at the main event. Wow. Oh man. Oh, look at that artwork. Oh, that's so cool. They're so regal and majestic and very big detail. I mean, this is the size of my hand. And of course, Scorponok is prominently displayed right there in the front, kind of showcasing, yeah, this is the reason why you're getting this BotCon set. So let's get this thing opened. Oh, would you look at that. Okay, I was curious to see how they would fit Scorponok in there. It looks like they've pretty much gone with Scorpion mode with the tail tucked under. But, wow. Good stuff. Let's go from worst to best, because I know that he's gonna definitely be the best. So taking a look at Ferak here, I love these colors. This is a very, very pure, polished white, and then a good smoky gray, and then a nice maroony kind of red to kind of bring everything out. This red is similar to the red that you see in the Transformers logos. Blank space here where the faction symbol was for Cyclonus, but we'll see if there's anything in robot mode. You got the pirate logos here on the wings. I did have a little bit of trouble getting things to fit in back here, but once I kind of worked with all the joints a little bit, everything pegged in nice and securely. So you just gotta fiddle with it a little bit to get everything to work right. And those colors, just as lovely in robot mode. Check it out. So one thing about the transformation that is great on this guy is that right here in the arms where the tab in the wings pegs into the arms, on Cyclonus these were painted, and I'd often worry about possibly scratching stuff in there, but these forearm pieces are molded in this gray plastic, and so are the wings, and then the red just kind of frames it around the outside, so no threat for scraping there. Good notes about this: the Decepticon logo has been moved to the front, and I like the way that came out. However, party foul number 1, apparently he had a screw that went too far and came out the other side. Weird. Never seen that before, but maybe they just used the wrong screw. Also, one other thing that's weird, the color of his hips to his thighs. I imagine these are cast in different types of plastic, like the ball joint kind of used plastic and the regular ABS molded plastic, but the two tones don't really match that well there. Anyway, here's a comparison with the Cyclonus. I'm calling Ferak the homework project of this box, because nobody really knows who he is except if you do a little bit of a search on TF Wiki. Apparently, Ferak is supposed to homage the comic book side of the Transformers history, and he was in the background of maybe one shot, and that's it. But, I mean, heck, he looks great, and I'm not really sure I care that much. And then moving on to his little Target Master here, who's known as... what's his name? Tornado! That's his name! Tornado. We got a little Tornado here, who is basically Nightstick. But he's also in these nice gradient colors, kind of monochrome, and I like monochrome. And the only thing in the way of paint apps besides these monochrome colors are the eyes, which are a nice yellow. Otherwise, no red on him. All the red went to Ferak over here. I like this guy. I like him a lot. But no faction symbol. Weird. I thought he was going to come with one, especially because the preview page in the comic had him with a faction symbol on his chest. And then a neat little gun mode here. This is kind of generic enough for anybody to use, and I could put it with any other figure, which I kind of like. But yeah, he's nothing to write home about, nothing special, just cool. Oh, so who are we going to do next? Let's do Cannonball. Alright, so Cannonball here using the TF Prime Ratchet mold. Really cool. I like the use of the black and then these awesome tampographs that were reminiscent of the original toy of Cannonball that came out in Armada, I believe. Great skull there on the top. I like this whole color palette. The teal and the purple work well with the black and the silver, and then you've got these awesome headlights up in front, and just good color palette. So let's get him changed up. And oh man, this guy's got sparkly gold paint. He looks good. He looks really good. I wasn't looking forward to this toy very much, but now that I have it in hand, oh my gosh. Very clever use of the existing windows on the chest to also replicate the way that the original toy worked. So what this guy is supposed to represent is the toy exclusive characters. Where Ferak was comic exclusive, now you have a toy exclusive character from Armada. I mean, that original toy was pretty cool, it was alright, but this is nice. I love these colors. Let's get a close-up of that gold sparkly fleck. I don't know, you can probably see it best in the kneecaps. Man, I mean, I can't tell if it's molded that way or painted that way, but whatever it is, it's good. It's real good. And here's something fascinating. I'm looking at Cannonball's knives, and, well, you know how ratchets were nice and flimsy floppy? These are not. These are a hard plastic, cast in that same gold that was on the rest of the figure. This is interesting. I didn't know it was possible to do something in hard plastic now. That's cool. Unfortunately, though, it looks like we're 2 for 2 for problems on these figures. The left side of mine looks kind of milky. That's not the reflection from my light. That's just milky residue kind of on the face. Not looking good. The eye patch. I mean, I'm quoting eye patch. Looks pretty good, but I think the black paint could have covered more of that head sculpt. I mean, overall, it still looks good, but I'm for sure going to bring this one to the BotCon table where they fix all the problems and change some parts. And here he is with Ratchet, Prime Ratchet, with the Repro Label set. Now when it comes to Cannonball, I don't think that they could get away with not doing an Armada Red Alert repaint out of this somehow this year. Because, I mean, they went through all the trouble to make the Red Alert head for it, and Cannonball is a repaint of Red Alert originally. I mean, heck, they're getting the life out of the Rampage head that they made by repainting that into Shockrack. I couldn't imagine that they would not do Red Alert this year. But anyways, let's see who's next. Devcon, you sly bounty hunter dog, you, get out here. So then Devcon here is supposed to be the cartoon exclusive character. And man, he pulls off those cartoon colors perfectly. The red and the blue totally match his original design. This looks best viewed from the top, as you can see all these stripes on there, but when you look at it from dead on, all the red that you have up here kind of disappears into only half striping along the sides of the wings. Not the end of the world, because I'm probably not going to display him much in this mode, but I think it works for Devcon because he was kind of one of those designs that was similar to all those Season 3 designs like Rodimus Prime and Cup and Springer and all those curvy kind of stylings. Blur, that's another good example. But yeah, this works really well for Devcon. One thing about the Autobot symbol though, it seems like the jawline of the Autobot symbol doesn't quite match with the white outline of that. A little strange, but I can get past it. And this design for Devcon is fantastic. I couldn't have selected a better mold myself. He brings out a little yellow in this mold that he didn't have in the vehicle mode, and it kind of reveals itself around the shoulders and the knee spikes. And the head is really good. I like the head. It doesn't stick out too far. It doesn't look funny or goofy. Just a good head. And the blue isn't like a very saturated, cartoony blue. It's muted down a little bit. And it works for being a bounty hunter. He doesn't look very garish at all. I was like Devcon in that one episode that he ever came out in. And even so, that's an amazing thing that that character even got a toy at all. I mean, heck, it's been 30 years now, but I mean, hey, it's something. And apparently, in a plot twist, Devcon has never had a toy before, and 3H Productions tried twice to make a Devcon toy, and neither one came to fruition. So this is finally breaking the streak of bad luck with Devcon toys, and I think it's awesome. I mean, you got cool details here in the abdomen. Things like this make me excited to see this mold as Alpha Trion from Millions Publishing. I would totally buy that up in a heartbeat. No questions asked. And here he... oh, whoops. Well, there you see one problem. So apparently this Devcon has loose hips, but like really, really loose. This leg kept on popping off for me when I was transforming it, and the left foot would not come out for a long time. But anyways, you can get kind of a contrast of the blues here from Scourge to Devcon. And like I said, with the Season 3 design of Scourge versus Devcon, the two of them match really, really well. And here are two good red, white, and blue buddies together in the episode that they both starred in, Smokescreen and Devcon together, at last. Gosh, I'm just so happy that Devcon finally got a toy, and that I finally got a toy of Devcon. Good stuff, good stuff. Moving on.
It's time for a fire guts Ginrai. Oh, power on!
So here we have Fire Guts Ginrai. Ooh. Oh my. Oh, that's fantastic. So that looks like black plastic with a silver chrome on just the parts that are reflecting right now. Ooh, that is a nice touch. It's like a deep, dark gray chrome. That's fantastic. Oh, and it's only on the rims there, the rims around these. But anyways, Fire Guts Ginrai is supposed to be kind of a reminiscent e-hobby exclusive of Fire Guts Ginrai, or Power Master Ginrai. Because back in the day of Master Force, Ginrai had this power mode that was like going Super Saiyan that we affectionately call Burning Justice, when he would turn from your standard blue and red into this red and orange color scheme, basically caught on fire. So this is your Super Saiyan Optimus Prime. So let's get him changed up. So yes, we've got the Classics Optimus Prime mold again, but hey, it's a good toy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Check it out. In the transformation, you've got these things which cover up these parts, and then you flip them over, and then you get this amazing detail down here in the shins. A couple of naff qualities though. When you come over to these arm bits, you got the contrast of orange plastic versus transparent plastic painted with orange paint, and it looks like it was kind of wet and rather thin, and it just looks a little in contrast. not the best, not the best. Then looking at his faction symbol here on his shoulder, they almost got away with it. But in the mold, there's a little divot there, and you can kind of see that on the other side. And that just barely messed up with that tampograph of the knight symbol. I like the style of this, though. Really cool. And speaking of knights, knights come with shields, and so does Optimus Prime. So, he's got his shield on the back. Pretty cool. But how does he hold this new shield? I mean, heck, we've only known it so far as a gun. But ooh, look at that. That's some brilliant artwork on there. From dead on, it looks a little squished, especially in person, because your eyes want to kind of converge on that. But then you kind of turn it to face flat. Well, you know, what can you do? It looks like the blue might be a little off from the white, because if you look in the eyes right here, the white's a little askew. If you mind, then heck, you can go change it out. But still, I mean, this is really, really awesome to look at. Great display. So how does he hold it? Well, since all we've known this to be is a gun, what we're going to have to do is take this fist, which can fold down, and make a little bit of clearance there, fold it down like this, and then peg the shield into there. And dang, that looks cool. I like that. I like that a lot. And because the shield is so big, it kind of gets rid of the big car parts underneath it. And depending on how you look at it, I mean, it's going to get lost anyway. The gun is pretty generic, not really much different than Optimus Prime, but hey, what can you do? Oh, interesting little fact here. On this hand, it's cast in black plastic and the red is painted around it, but not inside the joint, which is great because then you can fit things in there. But on this one, I'm looking on the inside, and the inside does have a little bit of red paint on the inside of the peg. I don't know if that's just QC on my figure. I'd prefer it if there was no paint on the inside, because then I wouldn't have to worry about scratching anything. Okay, update. I just fiddled some with it, and I kind of found a way for you to put the car piece there on the side of the arm. I think that works, because it's extra armament. You know, you got a shield here, shield there. What now? And then here he is next to Henkei Convoy. Here you can kind of see where the color swap is in red and orange and red and blue and orange and red and colors. Some may think this is a little hot, a little garish, but I just take it as this Ginrai going super cyan, going super crazy, going burning justice.
It's burning justice time.
And I think I'm okay with that. Now, to the piece de resistance, the thing that I've been waiting for this entire time. Let's get to it. Can we get to it? Let's get to it.
Oh yeah!
Cue epic music.
And then a pin. So this is kind of a hodgepodge. Let's get this all fixed up. And then FunPub was never allowed to say, "That's too crazy," ever again. Oh yeah, this has definitely raised expectations for what FunPub can do. I mean, look at this thing. Finally putting that cockpit to use, by the way. Nice little Olin Zerak. Not the Zerak we all know. But hey, this is a new piece here. This is the mega piece of interest in this set. Yes, they made him a headmaster. Apparently this is the Spike Witwicky headmaster from the recent Encore Fort Max. Except they totally retooled a new head on his back. Weird thing though. Okay, so he's supposed to be a head, right? Let's do that. Let's turn him into a head. Okay. Now let's turn him into a robot. And usually when you go into the robot, you have this flap, and you're supposed to cover the face. But no, that doesn't work because the face is too big, and the flap doesn't come over to cover it, so that flap is kind of useless now. Also, arm articulation for this robot, useless too, because you try to move this forward, and you've got these sharp corners, and you're risking scratching the paint on these antennae here for the head mode, and also risking destroying some of the plastic. I don't know how this could have been fixed. I mean, I don't want to move this little guy's arms. Because, I mean, it'd be cool if he was chilling out here, raising an arm, and, like, commanding his transtector to do something. But now he can't really do that. He's just kind of like, I'm a brick, I'm a brick, I'm a brick, hey, look over there, I'm talking with my voice because I can't move my hands. Anyways, besides the head, I mean, heck, this is amazing. This is This is a masterpiece. I've never owned the Energon Scorponok toy before, but way back in the day when that toy was made, this was the toy that everyone wanted from that mold. And I mean, man, did FunPub deliver. It's like, it's beautiful. It rolls. It's beautiful. It really is. It's not perfect G1 Scorponok colors. Earlier tonight when I was looking in room 227, I saw that somebody had G1 Scorponok, and I got to see the color of the green on that. The original promo pictures showed that color green for this, and this one isn't quite that. This is a brighter lime green. The magenta seems a good enough color though. That's a good match. But heck, I don't mind. I think the two colors play well together, and it looks fantastic. This is a piece to behold on your shelf. Damn. I mean, damn, that's cool. No electronics for this, as you can see in this cavity back here. If I can zoom in and expose the lies. There's no electronics. Totally been removed for this, but I don't mind because that probably would have jumped up costs by a bunch. And I mean, turning this guy into a headmaster was enough. It's enough. I don't care if it's a little strange or if it's a little weird to figure out. I don't care if this kind of vehicle mode doesn't make sense because, you know what, a giant Scorponok doesn't make sense. A giant flying fortress Maximus as a base flying thing, that doesn't make sense. But heck, this was Japan, and in Japan, robots transform. What do you mean, why? Anyways, gotta love it. Gotta love it. And there are some justifications here and there, like these are supposed to be like construction scoops, and then these are supposed to be treads, which I think work a little bit better than scorpion legs. And then you've got this kind of crane thing up here, and maybe this would come down and pick something up, and I don't know. But I just love this. Oh, gorgeous. Let's get to that robot mode already. No, actually, we got one more thing to do. Let's get to that jet mode, and then we'll get to the robot mode. And again, we got another case of it's Japan, don't ask questions. So this is the jet mode, the awesome jet mode, the jet mode that works just about as well as Fort Max's spaceship mode did. I like to fold these out to kind of make these giant wings, and then push this out, and then you've got a fantastic jet. I mean, heck, when Fort Max worked, who cares about aerodynamics and stuff? This looks awesome. I almost want to grab this and be like, hell yeah! But then I remember how much I paid for this thing, and then I kind of keep back to myself. So you know what? I think y'all have waited long enough. Now it's time. Now it's time to get to that robot mode. Oh yes. And then there was much rejoicing in the fandom. But seriously though, wow, this is the Scorponok that I think everyone has always wanted. I've had respect for the G1 Scorponok because of how awesome it was for the time, but I've always wanted something a little bit more updated for my taste, and this perfectly satisfies, very much satisfies that need. I don't have any other Scorponoks to compare him to, but let's have a look at some things I do have. Here he is next to Deathsaurus, and here he is next to Kabaya Fort Max. You know what, that's pretty good, that's not bad for size comparisons between these guys. After all, Scorponok is supposed to be the largest Generation 1 Decepticon ever, and he still towers over the rest of them, and in an acceptable scale. Especially because, as I understand it, Scorponok was supposed to be a little bit bigger than Fort Max, and then that never happened in the toy forms. But all these three characters are going to go on my shelf together to kind of commemorate the Headmasters, and then you got Victory, and then of course with Super Fire Guts Ginrai Super Saiyan over there. Then we've got Master Force. And since we're talking Headmasters, we might as well bring in the Wheeljack mold, because from the Transformers subscription service, Chrome Dome will be made out of the Prime Wheeljack mold. And perhaps you'll want to pose the two of them together since they're both Japanese Headmasters characters. Just for your fancy. But getting back to Scorponok himself, this piece de resistance. I'm amazed. I'm awestruck. I couldn't be any happier. Well, I could be happier because the head, sadly, does not turn. I'm confirming it. It does not turn. I think it could have been done because as I look here in the details, there's a seam here. I just got this nagging feeling like there was supposed to be a joint in there, but I look down in there and I see screws, and then that looks like it was supposed to stop anything from turning, which is kind of a shame. It would have been great if it could turn, so Scorponok will always be looking forward, unfortunately. But hey, I mean, this figure already had some posability issues, because you've got these giant claws, and these giant claws can't move forward. You have to kind of bend them, and then he's got the dreaded curling arms. Oh no! But for these giant scooping claws, I think it's okay. I think I'll be all right. I might live. But man, this is definitely worth the price of admission. Just this guy alone is worth the price of all of these figures in this BotCon box set 2014. Here we go. Do it, people. So we got Ginrai over there, and we'll do Devcon, and then we got Cannonball, who's supposed to be the leader of these pirates, and then Ferak, and then you got your little Target Master here. A Target Master and a Headmaster, both in one set. Now here's something interesting for you to chew on. This set has, if you count both the Headmaster and the Target Master, 7 figures in it. Well, that hasn't been done since BotCon 2005, if I'm correct. This is just predictions now, but I think that this will be one of the top BotCon sets for all time, especially just because of Scorponok. I mean, the rest of the figures are good in their own right, and this is good for a 30th anniversary commemorative series piece, because you've got one character from each part of our beloved fandom represented in plastic, all in one kind of thing. And, you know, the Pirates vs. Knights thing, who cares? It was clever, it was. But I prefer to think of this as commemoration through the years. Transformers in all of its mediums, from past to present day. And that's very satisfying. It's a good time to be a Transformers collector. So this is Camzilla51, and it's been a long first look, but hey, it's been a good first look. Today's been a great day. It truly has. I bought some toys, I made some friends, I had some fun building and painting my own figure, and I've gotten all of this on my birthday weekend, turning 20. How cool is that? And it's in Pasadena, right by home. It's just a good year. It's a good year, people. Get in on it. So this is Camzilla51, and I'm signing off. Have a great night, everybody.